show. On today's show, Michael Keaton, you say? Star Trek Generations is a Christmas movie, and how much time can a Wheel of time while the Wheel of Time wheels the time? Let's go.
And we are live.
Oh my God, I've missed this song. How are you, sir? Merry Christmas and a happy ho-ho.
Merry Christmas. I got my ugly sweater on, my Marvel sweater.
It's not an ugly sweater, though. That's the thing. It's not ugly.
I got Spider-Man, and I got Captain America, and Iron Man, and down at the bottom is Hulk, but I won't stand up.
Well, no, and I assume that's not even on the sweater.
Right, exactly. How have you been, Scotty? It's been a long time since we did a show.
It has been a long time since we've done a show. It's weird having you not around. I miss you. I've been holding up the fort with Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns. We've been doing some shows. Turge has been doing the Cult Classic Movie Corner.
Yeah, nice. I see that you got the name right.
Thank you.
Good.
You know what? I did pause for you to give me a compliment. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's been a blast. I appreciate the boat that we're on.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
have you been? Things are okay. You're well.
Things are good. It's the only reason I've been away. Everybody knows I have a full-time job, and it keeps me away from the house about 10 and a half hours during the day, during all the wrong times of the day to do the show, unfortunately. But I'm got some days off, and I'm glad to be here. And excuse me, before we get started and get into the show, let's do some housekeeping, shall we? If you'd like to send a comment or question, if you'd like to send a tip with your comment or question, I'm a little rusty. Please do so. www.streamelements.com/Fantasmagorium-show/tip. Also, you can visit our website. Check out our link to our audio-only podcast. Do that at www.phantasmagoriumshow.com. We also have a shop there. We can pick up some merch. Cool stuff like hats and T-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of cool stuff.
Do we not have the cups anymore? Or are we out of stock?
Okay. No, we have mugs. We have all kinds of cool stuff.
I have a mug.
And a lot of new designs went up right before we kind of put this show on hiatus. But yeah, check that out. It's a great way for you to support the show, and we think it's cool. All righty, dude. With that out of the way, all out, down, and out of the way, as we used to say.
As we have said.
Shall we jump into the news?
Yes, let's.
Okay. First up on the docket today, Michael Keaton to play Batman in Batgirl starring Leslie Grace.
Michael Keaton is dusting off his signature cape and cowl for Batgirl in the upcoming HBO Max superhero film. The actor is expected to reprise his role as Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, the character he originated in Tim Burton's 1989 film. That's not good verbiage. He will star alongside Leslie Grace, who is playing the lead role. Though plot details have been kept under wraps, the film centers on the heroine, whose real identity is Barbara Gordon, Babs, the daughter of Gotham City Police Commissioner Gordon. Warner Brothers declined to comment on Keaton's casting, which is weird. It's like they disavowed something.
No, I don't know. They keep everything under wraps. They're just not gonna. They're not gonna confirm or deny, right?
Sure.
But what do you think? What do you think about this news? I mean, it's awesome. I think people have been kind of clamoring for Keaton to get back in the cowl.
I would rather see Michael Keaton be in any movie than see Indiana Jones 5.
Yes. Okay. I agree with that.
Michael Keaton being in Flashpoint, I'm in. Michael Keaton being in Batgirl, I'm in. If they decide to do a live action adaptation of Dark Knight Returns, Michael Keaton, I'm in. Let's go. If you're building the Keaton verse, Snyderverse, you were fun. But I'm looking forward to The Keaton verse.
This is cool. This is good news. I'm glad. That should be interesting. I don't know if this movie is going to be any good or not. It is just it's a streaming movie. It's one of HBO Max's first kind of streaming movie is in this genre. Other than the Snyder redo cut.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. So I'm very curious, but it's good news. Just Michael Keaton's awesome. I just watched him in that Dope Sick show, and
nice.
was he good in that. So with Rosario Dawson, they were both outstanding performances in that show. That show was really good.
Well, and the thing is across the Batman fandom, I know that there are people who are clamoring and being like, "Oh no, restore the Snyderverse" and all that jazz, but it's like, you can live in a world where Batman the Animated Series exists, and also Batman Brave and the Bold exists, and also you can go and read The Killing Joke. Like there
Batman
are
Beyond.
there are so many iterations. Just because something different from what your favorite Batman is doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, my friend.
Just make good movies. That's all I ask. And I don't know that this is going to be a good movie. We'll have to see. But
Michael Keaton's in it, so I'll see it.
So I'll definitely give it a shot. All right, next up. So Uncharted released the second trailer today, kind of out of the blue. I didn't expect this. I don't know if anybody was really expecting them to release another trailer so soon.
Yes.
But Sony has revealed the second trailer for the upcoming Uncharted film adaptation prior to its release in early 2022. The trailer, which is over 2 minutes in length, sheds much more light on the story of the film and gives us a new glimpses at Tom Holland and as Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sully Sullivan. It also continues to highlight many of the vast action sequences that will be featured in the movie as well. As a whole, this new trailer for Uncharted spends quite a bit of time focusing on Drake and Sully and the relationship that they will develop over the course of the movie. Compared to the previous trailer, the new one also gives us first glimpse of, I think it's Moncanda. I'm sorry, I'm not an Uncharted person. I'm not a gamer, so these are kind of, I'm just going off of what I'm reading. Who is the villain of the film that is being portrayed by Antonio Banderas? Also, with showing off all these characters in a variety of different moments. The trailer also features some callbacks to video game franchise. Notably, the conclusion of the video even gives us a look at Sully donning a mustache, which is how he appears in the video games. Uncharted is set to hit theaters early next year on February 18th, 2022. Okay, so did you get a chance to watch this second trailer, and are you interested at all in this Uncharted movie?
Well, no, I played the games. I thought they were great. Do I need to watch a video game that I'm not controlling? No.
Right. And I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that these video game adaptations have, right? Because people are so used to, oh, I'm sorry, Scotty, am I interrupting your typing?
I'm trying to organize our guests for the Christmas party. I'm putting up garlands, sir.
Thank you for that. So I think that's the biggest hurdle the video game movie adaptations have. As people are so used to playing the game, watching a movie is not satisfying enough, and it doesn't do enough for them. I'll tell you what. So after watching the first and now second iteration of the trailer, I just meh to me. It's like, okay, action, Laura Croft. You get a little Raiders of the Lost Ark,
but you like that Vikander woman.
I do, but I don't know. It makes it looks boring.
I don't even think it's fair to compare this movie to the Tomb Raider movies, whether it be Angelina Jolie or Alicia Vikander. I'm
just saying you see a lot of those elements in there, and I'm just like,
well, because Lara Croft is a unique twist on the Indiana Jones mythos,
sure.
and the Uncharted is a direct ripoff. It is a copy.
Yeah.
So yeah. I I don't have any. I
The
played the
cover
game.
band.
Yeah. The whole thing's a cover band. It's a cover of a movie that is a video game that is a cover of the video game. I don't know. I'm
I
just,
don't know
it's too
either.
much Inception. I can't. I'm not interested at all. And quite frankly, I'm like, I know we're going to talk about Spider-Man later, but Tom Holland is not necessarily my favorite in the world in terms of charismatic actors.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
What else have
I
you seen
actually,
of him?
yeah, you know, I'm not a huge fan of his work. A couple of things I've seen him in, I do like, but yeah, you're right. It's
Like,
he's
it's
not
not.
leading man material at least yet.
And who else? We got Mark Wahlberg in that movie. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. What does it all mean?
Dude, and look, I know a lot of people out there are probably really, looking forward to this movie. And I'm not trying to shit all over, yuck on your yum or whatever. But
No, me
but
either. I'm just saying
this
it's not
particular,
for me.
yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
for
think it's
me.
much for me either. And Wahlberg seems to be playing like Wahlberg, and you know what I mean. It's I don't know. Maybe I need to see more of the movie to make a judgment, but it doesn't look great.
Well, like it's kind of the same thing as in relation to the recent Cowboy Bebop fiasco, or as I like to call it, the Cowboy Bebop. Um, like if it makes you go back, if you see the Uncharted movie and you go back and you play the games and be like, this is actually fun, then hallelujah, you found the joy. I
Right.
remember when the Assassin's Creed movie came out and I was like, ooh, this looks good. And you know what I did after I saw that movie? I went and I fucking played Assassin's Creed. And I
That
was like,
movie sucked so
and the
bad.
game was so much better. And
Totally.
so I think it's a thing with this that I don't want to get my hopes up for a video game movie ever because I've already had the experience when it was me doing it. And now I'm going
Right.
to watch a person that I'm not necessarily connected to do that. That's weird. Anyway, no, I think the original text. I prefer the original text. And by the way, don't forget to go watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. So I
Not
prefer.
Cowboy, not Cowboy.
Right. I prefer the original text too, especially in the original Klingon.
Well, that is the best way to read Shakespeare.
Yes. Okay. Next up on our list is Christmas movies starting to take over Netflix top 10.
Okay. Uh this holiday season is officially upon us. And Christmas is in just a few short days. With school breaks starting and holiday spirit levels hitting their peak, households around the country have kicked their Christmas movie marathons into high gear. Several TV networks have holiday programs running nonstop this week, and streaming services are seeing their themed offerings spiking in viewership as the season hits its climax. On Netflix, Christmas movies are starting to take over the top 10. Exactly half of Wednesday's edition of Top 10 Movies list on Netflix is made up rather of holiday films. There are some new releases and new Netflix additions on the list as always, but Christmas offerings are rising through the ranks as families revisit their December favorites. Both of Kurt Russell's Christmas Chronicles movies find themselves in this new edition on the list, which has come as no surprise given that they are two of the most popular holiday Netflix films ever released. Also making their way to the top 10 are Grumpy Christmas, A California Christmas, City Lights, and A Boy Called Christmas. I've never heard of any of those movies.
Right.
As we get even closer to Christmas, expect to see these films rise even higher through the ranks.
The ranks. So the Christmas Chronicles movies are fabulous. They're outstanding movies. They're some of my favorite things to watch on Netflix as far as movies go.
Yes.
And Christmas movies go anyways. And I was bummed out that this year we didn't get a third installment, but both of them are really, really good and worth your time if you're looking for a good Christmas movie to watch and cuddle up. And I don't know about you, Scotty, but it's going to rain. It started raining today. It's going to rain through Christmas Day, here, so it's an indoor Christmas this year for us in California.
Oh my God, Steve,
Yeah,
there's a guy at the door. He says that I invited him to a Christmas party. Is it okay if I let him in?
sure.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Is it too late?
Damn right it's too late. Right, now, first of all, Tom Holland has got the fucking charisma of a paper bag, right? He couldn't carry a box from one room to another. He's got
But-
nothing. He drains all the colour out of the scene. Fuck
Okay,
off,
hang on a
Tom
second.
Holland,
Hang on a
right?
second.
Second of all, Mark Wahlberg in this obsessively cancel culture, you put one badly thought out tweet and that's it. Your career's over. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg carries out a premeditated, racially
Captain.
motivated physical assault, and yet he gets a pass from Hollywood. Fuck that wanker. Fuck that piece of shit. As for
Captain.
having it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas to you too.
It is a pleasure to see you.
You hemisphere
Let's just-
chauvinist. Christmas was over.
Let's just close the
door.
door. There's snow flying all over the place. May I take your coat? Would you mind taking off your shoes?
We're having the hottest summer we've had in 100 years over here, and you guys are dressed up with sleigh bells and all that shit. Christmas ain't for another 6 months. It's June over here. June.
Steve has an incredible sweater. I don't think that it's ugly at all. He said that he was going to be wearing an ugly sweater, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, but sweater. That's the beautiful sweater.
Do you, in regards to now that you're here, and we're happy that you're here, do you have any opinions about the top 10 Christmas movies?
Well, I feel silly talking about such trivial things in the middle of a blisteringly hot June. We're just recovering from Easter over here.
I lived in Australia for a year, and quite frankly, it was odd to be wearing shorts on my birthday. I was a January baby. Snow was always all over the place. And I'm a Capricorn, much like Jesus and Elvis.
Well, that's the point. Ever since the Pope, no lesser authority on Jesus' birthday than the Pope of the Catholic Church, said we don't know when Jesus was born. Don't know the date, don't know the month, don't know the year. Christmas is officially a pagan winter festival. It's just nonsense. Well, so not to offend anyone, I'm not moving Christmas, but if I'm 16 hours ahead of you, then clearly I'm 6 months ahead. It's just facts. You can't celebrating a festival in the summer.
Stop bragging about your weather. Can we talk about the Wheel of Time for one moment?
As long as Mark Wahlberg is cancelled right off this planet.
We're taking a hard left away from Mark Wahlberg. If you will bear with us, please, sir.
All right, moving on.
Thank you. Please.
The Wheel of Time hits 1 billion streaming minutes in the first week. #1 in Nielsen chart.
The Wheel of Time is off to a strong start with the Amazon Prime series topping Nielsen's original series streaming chart for the week of November 16th to the 21st. Nielsen released the rankings this week, which revealed that viewers streamed 1.16 billions of minutes
now, does that
of the Wheel of Time.
Divided by 55 to get viewers per episode. Sounds like a very flawed and skewed system to me.
It does sound like a flawed and skewed system, but I appreciate but we're holding all questions until the end, please.
Yeah, thank you. Nice shoes. Can we
The Wheel of Time. Oh, I will circle back. Never mind. I can't finish that sentence. The Wheel of Time during its premiere week last month. Amazon Prime released 3 episodes of The Wheel of Time during that week with a run total of 169 minutes, meaning that an average of 7 million viewers. See, they get to it in the story. You just have to keep reading. 7 million viewers watched each episode. The Wheel of Time was Amazon's most streamed series since Hunters. Never seen it. Back in 2020. February of 2020. The series is also the first Amazon Prime series to top 1 billion streaming minutes since The Boys back in September 2020. I've never heard of The Boys. The Nielsen ratings is another. It's called facetious.
Yes. It's called funny.
But it's, you know what? It's not good in the middle of a stream just to be like, I love The Boys.
Facetious. That's a word for Scotty trying to be funny. Trying.
I will throw you off this boat.
Oh, that's a promise.
The Nielsen ratings is another strong sign for The Wheel of Time, which is one of Amazon Prime's most ambitious streaming series to date. Based on a 13-book series of novels by Robert Jordan. Amazon previously announced that the show... It's Jordan. It's Jordan. His name is Jordan. I know. I'm just being... Robert Jordan. Amazon previously announced that the show was their most watched series of 2021. Amazon always, we're going to get another season. It's currently in production. Anyway, has anyone, either here, there, or anywhere, seen The Wheel of Time?
Je n'ai pas le temps de perdre en tête. Sorry, Steve, you first.
You'd be a terrible French.
No, it's on my to-do list. It's on my watch list, but I haven't got to it. This weekend. I'll be watching it.
And I have checked out some of the conversations that I think Positive Fandom has had with Stubble McShave, and I've heard descriptions of the show. It seems like it would be in my wheelhouse, and I've been neglected.
Fall into your favorite genre category of A Good Walk Spoiled, a golf game without a game of golf?
Yes, I do enjoy not playing golf while I'm walking.
Right, but it's Swords and Sorcery, isn't it? I mean, it might be post-nuclear, like Swords and Shannara.
But apparently there's like some steampunk aspects and interplanetary travel.
Really? Hang on.
Yeah, there's stuff that goes on.
Space opera, steampunk, and Swords and Sorcery fantasy.
Yeah,
it sounds like it doesn't know what genre it wants to be.
Well, it also sounds like a different technology spin on Star Wars, which also I'm fine with that.
Oh, really? So you expect to see Gandalf with a laser gun in the next Lord of the Rings, do you?
Well, Obi-Wan Kenobi with a laser gun is called with a staff, pardon me, is called Gandalf.
On there, Star Wars is interesting. That's why it's often called a space fantasy and not a science fiction story. Quite right. We've gone there.
We have, and we will again. Hawkeye comes to Disney Plus.
Oh, is that it for the Wheel of... No more time for the Wheel of Time, then?
No more time for the Wheel of Time.
Have you read it?
Now, Scotty.
Moving on.
Know my policy. Never read the book. No, if I know...
Hawkeye comes to Disney Plus.
It's going to be based on a book or a comic book that I've read. I then delete those from the memory. No, The Expanse. Ask me if I've read The Expanse.
I've never even seen it.
Right, it's an awesome show.
That's my point. It's my favorite. It's literally my favorite show. If you want to hear me talking positively about a TV show, then ask me about The Expanse. But then follow-up question, Cockney, The Expanse. You like to spend a career moaning about the same old shit, and yet you actually like The Expanse TV show. What do you think of the books? Fuck the books. I use them as paperweights. I've got a very strict policy.
Why would you use paper to weigh down other paper?
And that is why let a good punchline get talked over by Scotty.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not being a very good Johnny Carson. Pardon me. I got distracted. There are other people coming to the party, Steve. Did you want to describe the situation going on with the Hawkeye?
You never read the book. I mean, Game of Thrones.
Hang on a second. Captain.
I read the book of Game of Thrones, and apparently there's a character called Lady Stoneheart, who is my favourite in the books. Well, I tuned into the television programme adaptation. There was no Lady Stoneheart. No, there's Caitlin Stark. Is she coming back to life as a vengeful zombie? No, she's bleeding out on the floor from multiple stab wounds.
Captain, we are attempting to stay on target. Please don't.
You're the one who said, have I read the book? Get the fuck out of here. Moving on. Hawkeye.
Please don't. But you're familiar with the character, yes?
Yes, he's an archer. He's got no superpowers. He's basically got no business being a member of the Avengers. He should be the doorman or something.
Well, hang on. That's unfair.
Well, really? They're called superheroes, aren't they? Not janitors. I mean, he's got nothing. At least Superman's got powers. Batman, he's rich. What's Hawkeye got? An archery competition paperwork. So what?
Well, no, I would...
We've been to Butlins. We've all been to Butlins, Hawkeye.
The MCU version of Hawkeye.
Now, what if it's Spider-Man? Is Spider-Man part of is Sony part of the MCU? I mean, he's a Marvel character and he's cinematic, and yet people are saying no because it's not Disney. Yeah, but it's not the Disney MCU. He's surely a subsection of the MCU. I mean, if Steve licenses, I don't know, Banana Man, bad example, he's not Marvel. You know what I mean?
Who is Banana Man? Who is
Right,
Banana
a
Man?
bad example. That's from an English comic. But basically, Sony, Marvel, right? Spider-Man is a Marvel character, right?
Yes, true.
Spider-Man the movie is a movie. Therefore, Spider-Man is part of the MCU. It might not be part of the Disney MCU, but he's a Marvel licensed cinematic character. Therefore, there's more than one MCU before we get onto the multiverse. Anyway, quick, come on. Back to Hawkeye. You're totally losing control of the entire show. So, Hawkeye. Can I see it? How about that, Hawkeye?
Well, Hawkeye comes to Disney Plus. Check out the comics that created the legend. Hawkeye arrived on the streaming platform on November 24th. For the uninitiated, skilled archer Hawkeye, played by Jeremy Renner.
Script, folks.
I'm sorry, which one? What?
It's almost as if he's reading from a script. Oh, that's fine. It's very naturalistic. You carry on.
Hawkeye is an ex-villain turned Avenger. His ally is Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld in the... You know what? Sometimes it helps to prepare, Cap. Is a rich girl turned superhero. However, that doesn't even graze.
I realized something called wits.
What? Oh, is that what you call it? Anyway, so there's this Hawkeye show. Have you seen it? I have not. But there are many comic books that have...
Don't read the comics.
Well, but I think that is the greatest problem. I think that your
expectations based on reading comics or books. Transmedia, very similitude. I read Moonraker. I saw the movie. They were completely unrelated apart from the title character.
But it's also like Douglas Adams when every time he readapted his work for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it was always different because of that the impossibility drive.
Right. Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be an exact copy. If it doesn't match up with what you want,
that's my point.
Jog on.
Now, that is fast. This is Steve. This is now we've got a discussion going. That's my point.
Well, we weren't looking for a discussion. We were looking to talk about Hawkeye.
Scotty, rather than debate my point, you've underscored it perfectly. That's why.
Then why are you arguing with me if I agree?
They are inherently different, and even when the same author adapts his work, he has to adapt it. Exactly what you said, Scotty. That's why you can't do what I said. Done. Thank you for arguing my point for me.
You know what? Agreement is one of my favorite things.
Merry Christmas.
And to all of us.
Well, to those of you
For more about how they came to be, Kate Bishop and Clint Barton, and why so many fans are rabid for the series' November 24th debut, which has already occurred. In fact, the entire show is available on Netflix. Check out this collection of the comics that created the characters. For more comic book collections to purchase, read our list of the best. This is actually, that's directly... never mind. I wasn't supposed to read that. He will read everything on the prompter. Hawkeye by Fraction and Aya, the saga of Barton and Bishop. Is it pronounced Aya or Aja?
Aja, like, isn't it like Kaja, like the album by Steely Dan, who, by the way, were named after a literary character, but apparently everyone knows that.
I am not familiar.
Steely Dan was a term for a vibrator.
Hey, look, Sherry's here.
Sherry.
The lovely Sherry says hello to Captain Cockney #1 Spock. Have you not been canceled yet?
Not yet.
Me either. Festivus.
Yeah, exactly. Happy Festivus.
Todd Michael says
Todd Michael
Swathers.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's just call him Todd Janisowski.
Swathers? Swathers?
Swathers?
Swatters.
and Southern California. Two things that I always associated together. Well, hey. Oh, you know what?
California,
speaking of Todd Michael. Simone Kipno! Simone!
The band
Group.
back together. Speaking of which,
True story. But also, I think Simone would like this. I got a Christmas present. I got an early Christmas present. Did I tell you about my early Christmas present? I got a book.
Oh, yeah.
A book?
I got a book. And it is by Chuck Tingle. Two-time Hugo Award finalist, Chuck Tingle. Now, spoilers, trigger warnings, everything. But this was a Christmas present, and I thought it was very thoughtful. Scary stories to tingle your lesbian butt. 7 tales of Ladybug on Ladybug terror.
What? Has it got any stories about lesbian vampires?
I cannot. You know what? I think it's going to be a new show on the Fantasmagorium. I am going to read as much of this book as possible online before we get demonetized.
Gotti, I want you to help me write a script about a movie about lesbian vampires.
But I just want to sit here and play with myself while reading Chuck Tingle. Hello, LDG.
Tagline for the poster: lesbian vampires.
You don't think this? I'm sorry. Do you not think this is a good enough poster?
Scotty R37. Hey, it's your channel.
It is. It's true.
If you want to hear the entire punchline, unfettered and uninterrupted, then subscribe to me, Captain Cockney Spock.
You have a channel?
I do. All about the lesbian vampires. They'll suck your blood, but not much else.
I just really appreciate the term ladybug.
Tim Stork says, I'm a hipster.
Tim Stock says, hey, Arrow season 1 and 2 was dope AF, bro. Did you ever see
I hear
Steve?
Pappy that actually liked
Did you ever see Arrow? Yeah, no, I was a big fan of Arrow 1 and 2.
I didn't see the point.
But
Thank you. It made me all
Sly Snide says, friend of the channel, obviously.
The Matrix cinematography literally made me sick. I literally threw up in my mouth last night. Took a NyQuil, that's drugs, legal drugs. That's an opiate epidemic right there. I saw The Matrix 4 and it led me to drugs.
So, Captain, that is absolutely editorializing what Sly Snide said.
No shit, Sherlock. Does it look verbatim to you?
Well,
no. NyQuil, other brands are available. Mixed it with a Prozac and some tequila, and then went to Scotty's place and had a party.
Hey, man, if you're gonna be disrespectful to the chat,
Who's
man,
disrespectful?
Well, you're not saying what Sly Snide said.
With Scotty, I come on here to do my best. I'm not being negative. We're all about the chat. We're nothing without the chat. One more comment out of you, and I'm going to mute you on your own show.
You can't do that. It's impossible.
You watch me.
Sly Snide says The Matrix 4's cinematography literally made me sick last night. I think she means figuratively. Fine, you have a valid point. Took a NyQuil and had some tea.
Now, Mr. Commentary.
Maybe I'm trying to be a gracious host.
Maybe they didn't mean it ironically. That is literally editorializing. You've just done that is literal editorializing and literal hypocrisy. You've literally just done the thing that you told me off for. It's fine. It's fine when you do it. Jen
took a NyQuil and had some tea and pills this morning. Well, as long as you got better.
The anecdote that really is not talking about the movie yet. Tell me more about the cinematography. Yeah, I hear unequivocally that Matrix 4 is a bunch of shit, and yet Pappy likes it. I hear Bennett's all over that shit.
Yeah, but what's great. Cap, can you? Oh my God!
Do you want me to go?
I don't know. Are you gonna reel it in and play a little nicer?
Well, I'm just having fun. If you're not enjoying it, I'll go. I'll just go. I don't like being told off. You know, this is the standard me.
But you just told someone off.
No, I didn't.
You did. You were. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Oh, now it's me. You know what? This is exactly how Christmas parties always work with me. Todd Michael says, well, I figured the lesbian content would be more interesting to Scott than Tingle's typical gay male content. Yeah, no, absolutely. I do enjoy such stuff. I'm a big fan. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hang out here by the bar. Oh no, devices are not connected. Sorry, hang on a second. Watch your step. There's slippery things everywhere. How are you, Kat? It's good to see you.
I'm all right. Still taking tea and some other pills.
Fair enough. I am chock-a-block full of antihistamines and decongestants. But still, I'm smoking, so I'm an idiot. What are you going to do? I was really hoping that Steve would be here so we could talk about Spider-Man for a little bit, but apparently it's something I must have said.
Yeah, that's right. We had a good Spider-Man show. I did watch The Matrix last night, and
well, yeah. What'd you think?
I thought that for a major blockbuster film, the poor technical quality was inexcusable. It looked like I was watching a Netflix original movie. Cinematography was that bad. It made me literally sick while I was watching it. The constant use of shaky cam and close-ups and fast cutting is just really sloppy, making the action in particular really horrific. The dialogue scenes, some of them are pretty bad. I like what they were doing story-wise in the first 45 minutes with all the meta stuff, but then it's like, okay, we're going to retcon all the first 3 movies as a meta project thing, which is kind of neat. And then 45 minutes in, we're going to retcon that again and start, going through the motions of the original movie, but faster. And it's like, okay. And I like the lore. That was some of the lore from the new Zion and all that. I thought that was kind of neat. And
are they still underground doing like raves?
No.
Okay.
I was very lost though with the whole third act. It didn't make a lick of sense. And it just again looked really sloppy and cheaply made. Kind of not the best actor, and that kind of shows a bit here. It was just. Yay! Tom Michael's here.
Greetings.
Yeah, he could tell you about it too.
Oh, you saw it too?
I watched it. It was a movie I saw on streaming on TV.
Was it good?
It was in front of me on the TV, and I was watching it.
I love flashing lights.
Yes. And if I had not been watching it with my other half, I think I probably would have turned it off halfway over. I loved the first act. I loved it. And then it just became another mediocre movie that didn't need to be made the way it was made, and then I lost interest and I didn't care.
Oh my God,
yeah,
sir. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, God, I don't know. It's like, it's funny because a lot of people, like critics, were complaining about the meta aspects of the movie, and I'm like, no, the meta stuff is good.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part. The rest of it's just like,
shit.
Okay, you're doing this again, but just
no, I don't want to say it's shit. I'll let Kat say it's shit. It's just, it's
is
there.
It Jaws?
It's happening. It's happening in front of you, and you're like, hey, this looks kind of familiar. Oh, man.
Well, like I
so
said,
many good ideas not executed. But I told Kat, I said something to Kat in a private chat. I think it was it almost felt to me like it was designed to lure people to HBO Max.
Right.
And Kat mentioned it was like a Netflix movie, and she's absolutely right.
Yeah, that's how bad the image. It looks like cheap HD.
It's shot on digital. It's not film.
Yeah, it's not film,
and it's not even filmized. It's not even
exactly. It doesn't
color graded that way.
Yeah, they didn't do that. It looks really cheap and for digital, and it's like, did they just get lazy? I mean, it just looked. That's why I was literally sick last night because I was watching this, and it's like the way the cameras are constantly shaking and free flowing in almost every shot was just really annoying, and the action was just atrocious. I mean, they had an actual martial arts master choreographing everything and staging everything for the original trilogy. They didn't do that here. this kind of reminds me of Quantum of Solace level bad in terms of action. Not being familiar with the geography of what the hell's going on because there's so much fast cutting and so much, the close-ups with shaky cam and fast cutting is just insane. It was nothing remotely interesting about any of the action in this movie. It was just making me sick, and it's like I don't understand what went wrong. And again, the third act did not make a lick of sense with things going on with Trinity and Neo, and I didn't really care about anything that was happening. But it's like, well, I'll just keep watching. I mean, I liked all this stuff again with Zion and the new Zion called IO and that kind of stuff. I thought that was interesting.
Spoilers.
It made sense that that kind of stuff, and when they talk about the Morpheus,
spoilers, everybody.
That all made sense. But and I'm sorry, no offense to Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He's a good actor, but if you're trying to follow up Morpheus by playing another version of it, you have to epitomize that level of cool, and he just unfortunately doesn't. It seemed a bit average. And even there's a particular but location that they go to frequently in this movie. It's a cafe, and every shot in this cafe looks like you're watching, again, one of those really cheap Netflix type movies where the dialogue and the staging is horrible. And it's like, I just have no idea what went wrong. And it's a shame because they, like Todd Michael said, they had really great ideas. The meta stuff in the first 45 minutes is pretty good, and then they just totally shit the bed after that.
It was almost as if they were original concept for a film that Hollywood basically said, "Oh no, we have to be more like what we've done in the past."
Right.
Like in the hands of a different director, the meta ideas, I think, because unfortunately Wachowski's created it, so they're too tied to it.
Well,
maybe another director could have taken it to a different place.
That makes me wonder if that was Lana's intention, because there's characters in the first 45 minutes who are talking about just how meta it is, and going back to the Matrix, and let's remake this video game series, and let's and the cheapness of it. And it's like, is that her point with this movie, to try and make it resemble what a lot of other disappointing, sequels to 80s movies kind of look like, but doing it in a meta commentary on how?
For many people, she already made 2 disappointing sequels to a really good film. So,
well, I like the sequel. I like the first 2 sequels. I think.
Yeah, I did too.
See, I think the first film is a almost near perfect cinema experience.
Yeah,
I don't want to say film necessarily. I think everything about it is so original and fresh for that era. And then it didn't need another film, but of course,
I thought it did need another film because there were things that didn't really make sense to me in the first one. Like, Neo's born in the pod, but he has these superpowers, meaning the machines gave it to him for a reason. Likewise, the Oracle exists exclusively in the Matrix, meaning she works for the machines, not really Morpheus. And how is Neo's superpowers in the Matrix going to be conducive to liberating people from their current predicament? And so, and how exactly did he kill? Like, did he delete the file, Smith? He just flies into him and he disappears. So I'm like, what's really going on here? And so in the sequel,
why is Smith even back? How is he back?
Right. So in the sequel, when they reveal what the deal is between the One and the Oracle and how it's a system of control, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And Morpheus being totally drunk on his own Kool-Aid just stubbornly won't accept that, which made sense to me. And also the first movie, I feel, gets at times too much explain-a-vision. Like, it's explaining all the exposition of what everything is, as opposed to, but it makes it look really cool while you're watching it. Whereas this movie doesn't even measure up to that level of cool. It's just, and the third movie I felt is very much like the third act of that trilogy. It's not a movie that stands on its own. Well, I didn't mind it when looking at it as a whole, like all 3 movies, it felt like it told a consistent story. But with this, I don't know what their overall intention was, particularly with how the story ends. And it's like,
Well, and would you say it's better than the Second Renaissance Part 1 and 2?
The what?
The Second Renaissance Part 1 and 2.
What's that?
Yeah. That is from the Animatrix.
Oh, God, it's been so long since I watched.
No, the Animatrix is better.
So just flat out, the Animatrix is better than the Matrix 4.
I think so.
Yep.
Lots of different pieces. Yeah, many pieces are definitely.
Yeah, a lot better way at handling the lore and the storyline in the Animatrix than this.
It's something that's been it's been on my noggin for a little while, and especially watching Spider-Man Far From Home, or No Way Home, or whichever homecoming we went to. Like when we talk about these things, it's like, does it do justice to the original? And if it doesn't, then it's like, I'm glad it's out there and I'm glad that there are people who enjoy it. But if it's just building on something that I already love, yeah, I can either put it in my yearbook or not. It's a collectible. It's something that it's not necessarily. It doesn't need me to participate.
Did you watch Netflix's Iron Fist, Marvel Iron Fist?
A couple of episodes, yeah.
Okay, one of the only character I truly loved in Iron Fist was Colleen Wing.
Yeah.
And the actress that plays her is a major character in The Matrix, Jessica Henwick. She needed more development, but I could watch her, again. I would revisit her character. I liked her, and I thought she was probably one of the better parts of it. The guy that I don't even want to talk about Morpheus or Smith. They were unnecessary to it anymore. Yeah. If you're not going to have the original actors, they're just literally no point in having them in the film. A film that is all about revisiting the Matrix. It's all nostalgia bait for the original series. So,
yeah, that's also the stuff they cover in the meta stuff in the beginning.
Could somebody please explain to me the 5 lines of dialogue that warranted Christina Ricci doing a cameo and then never reappearing?
Oh, I forgot that Christina Ricci was in this movie.
No, she's not in the movie.
No, I know. For 5 lines of dialogue, she's in there for a scene. She's a cameo. But may I, Todd Michael, may I meet you over at camera 2 for just 1 second? Okay, so is she pretty?
Christina Ricci?
Well, like in the movie, like the character that she's playing, is it like a statue? Like, is she like fashion cover hot?
She was on the screen so quickly that I really didn't. She was gone by the time I realized who it was.
So, in other words, I can just go and check out on YouTube. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I was just fantasizing about Christina Ricci.
She's got a new hairstyle, and
does she look like Trixie from Speed Racer?
No.
Oh well, then never mind.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It was just a movie I felt it didn't need to be made. And then if you're going to make it, commit to it and commit to fresh ideas, because that's what that original film was so much about, and it just doesn't deliver. But I could see people really loving it because they just wanted to see Trinity, shippers out there and the whole Trinity and Neo thing. Because that's kind
of what I feel that might have been influencing the writing as well. Like the whole third act with the whole emphasis on Neo and Trinity, because people were so disappointed with how she went out in Revolutions. That it's like, oh, let's just bring her back and make her a big deal for the third act and be the focus of it, because it's like, oh, people want Neo and Trinity to be happy, and they want, like you said, they want to ship them and have them live, happily ever, that kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, okay.
How lazy is that, shipping Neo and Trinity? They're already in a relationship.
That's not to say there weren't certain cues.
They're dead, so they can't be.
Well, that should satisfy the
Ships
necrophiliac
are breathing
market.
And they're living.
Well, no, they're all fucking fictional, Todd Michael.
I like the deja vu thing with the therapist cat. I thought
my favorite ship is real, so quiet you.
Well, my favorite ship is the Enterprise. So how did Neil Patrick Harris do?
I mean, fine, and up to a point for who he is and his level of importance in the story, but it's like, I mean, he's got slightly more personality than the architect from The Matrix Reloaded.
Is that what he's doing? Is that his job in this movie?
Yes.
Spoilers. Spoilers. I said spoilers already. I don't fucking care.
I hate talking. I know so many people haven't seen it yet, but that role, that general role is similar.
Well, and the thing is,
different name, different purpose, but generally doing it. No, same purpose. Sorry, that was it.
Well, I mean, another thing I liked in terms of the meta was I didn't notice it in the trailer. They might have digitally edited it out, but there's like when the guy says, "Oh, going back to where it began, back to the Matrix," and in the background, in the finished film, you see the bust of Agent Smith getting punched by Neo.
Yeah.
A maquette that they made, and it's like sitting in his office, and I thought, man, that's so cool. So little things like that I thought were really neat. And when the therapist mentions his cat, oh, you got my cat deja vu into your video game, and that kind of stuff, I thought that was really like Tom Michael said, that's when the movie's kind of excelling. Is it seems like it's going to have something interesting to say, but right when you think it's going to take off at that 45-minute mark, like, hey, here we go, and it just. Yeah,
that was probably where I just was like, oh, it's happening. I'm watching it, and I'll continue watching it, but I didn't care anymore.
Yeah, and I was completely lost in the opening sequence. I didn't know what was going on. I felt like I needed to take a programming course, like a crash course of programming, to understand what some of the terms were.
I still haven't quite figured out what definition, because I could see multiple ones for modal that would apply, but it's you can read into it however you want.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like $12 that I'll never get back.
Mm.
It's definitely. I'm happy we watched it on HBO Max and did not.
If I had gone to
it at the theater, I would have been. Right now, my rating is just meh. I would have been probably very dissatisfied if I had paid to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I can't make up my mind about what rating I would give it yet, but I'm so happy I didn't see that in the theater, because I would have just been super sick. Kind of like when I went to see Uncut Gems. As much as I love the movie, that has so much shaky cam and zigzagging around that I was like, both times I saw it, first time I was sitting in like the third row, second time I was sitting in like the 10th row, but both times it was just really delirious. I was so disoriented, I had to sit down outside the theater and collect myself for a bit. And this movie would have done that times like 11. I literally checked my TV settings at one point to see if the smooth motion setting was turned on, because at times that's how cheap the cinematography looked. And it's like, is that function on? It's like, no, it's not. It just looks this bad.
Well,
hey, can we talk about something else, Kat?
Yes.
That we talked about off here. The action is very. Do you remember all the action in the Matrix film, and even the second one? All the crazy action and just like the fighting and that opening scene and then the scene later when they're going through that bank or wherever it was, and things blowing up and walking on walls. This doesn't have any memorable action in it.
Well, yeah, like I mentioned, it was like Quantum of Solace level bad in terms of shaky cam with zooms and close-ups and fast cutting.
Losing track of the geography of where your action is happening is the worst.
Yeah, I think,
but it's just not memorable.
Yeah, it's all just flashing
lights. It's just like I mean, it was a lot of motorcycle riding in this one.
Oh, right. Nice.
I heard that Tom Hardy had a cameo because he was filming the Venom movie in San Francisco when they were filming this, and I think I saw him in the movie because Jessica Hemwick said she wasn't sure if his cameo made the final cut. I think it did. For example, they even brought back Daniel Bernhardt as Agent Johnson from the second movie, but he didn't make the final cut. But
they're turning down people from the Matrix to be in the new Matrix?
Yeah, they brought him back and they filmed some scenes with him, but he didn't make the final cut for whatever reason.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, here's somebody that's in it that I got excited over. Thelma Hopkins. Remember her from 227 and the band Dawn, Tony Orlando and Dawn?
Yeah, no, I remember 227.
She's in the film.
Thelma Tompkins?
Yes, she plays a botanist type person in IO, the new Zion. Yep. And I was like, Matt pointed her out, and I was like, oh my God, it's Mr. Bunyan.
Oh, pardon the bang.
Pardon the bang.
Oh, he's in a train.
He is in a train.
There's an action scene, guys. Welcome to the show.
He's in a train and he's oriented the wrong way.
I brought my Christmas sweater to the show, by the way, because it's the Christmas show.
I'm wearing Regal. I'm wearing Hot Girl Hallmark.
I'm not one for Christmas all that much, so I own no Christmas anything.
No, it's fine. You're a Satanist. We understand. No, I know, because it's just Satan Claus. It's the same holiday. So anyway, speaking of Christmas, and Tony, you may appreciate this. Welcome to the show, by the way.
I think Tony's frozen.
I watched Star Trek Generations today, and I finally figured out why Beverly Crusher is not the Nexus wife for Captain Picard.
Why is that?
Well, Tony left now that I've destroyed his youth. No, here's the deal. So Picard gets swept up into the Nexus due to, spoilers for Star Trek Generations. In Star Trek Generations, Tolian Soren is a doctor who was his family died on his home planet and by the Borg. And so, but then he was swept into the Nexus and he got to be with his family again. He got his happiest place in the world. And so then he was ripped back from it by the transporters of the Enterprise B. So he spent like 80 years trying to get back into the Nexus. He's blowing up planets left and right to try and make this energy ribbon come at him. And so then he gets to go back into the Nexus, in which case he gets to live with his family happily ever after. But some people get in his way, namely Captain James T. Kirk and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So Captain Picard gets swept up in the Nexus at the time of Soren, victory, and Picard goes to his best place ever. It's a Christmas movie. Captain Picard gets zapped into a Christmas movie with his family, which he has never expressed any interest in ever. Until this movie.
You can't. The movies are different characters.
Oh, but this one, see, the thing that I have a soft spot for Generations because
I do too.
It straddles the line between superhero because Picard gets his ass kicked. Picard has to go and be like, "Hey, James T, can you come help me not get my ass kicked?" And James T is like, "I will." And so, how can I say no to the captain of the Enterprise? So anyway, Beverly Crusher is not his ideal fantasy Nexus wife. Because when you go into the Nexus, you get whatever you want. And Beverly Crusher is not there. Now, I figured it out, and I figured out why Beverly Crusher is not there. Kat doesn't even like Star Trek. It's because you have to...
It can't all be Bond. It can't all be Bond and top-tier film.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
You have to explain where Wesley is. Because if you love Beverly as much as we all love Beverly... If Picard goes to the Nexus and Beverly's his wife, then if Picard was a good person, then Wesley would be there. But nobody wants Wesley there. And so you have to explain why, oh no, I would like Wesley here, I would like Beverly here, but I don't want Wesley. I think that the entire reason... Hang on.
Can we talk about Scotty smoking and how it adds to the conversational element of the show?
My emphysema is topical. Okay. So, but I just think that the whole thing is if you put Beverly in the Nexus Christmas, then Wesley has to be there. And if Wesley is not there, then because it is the idealization of the perfect life that Captain Picard wants, then the idealized version of what Captain Picard wants is no Wesley, which is a dark thought.
Do you really think they gave it that much thought there, Scott?
Well, I hope so.
I mean, they literally just killed off like his family, so just for a pointless little story element to get him sad.
Yes.
I mean, true. I like the movie too. I always have, but it's not a great film.
Oh, it's terrible.
And can we since we're on the subject of Generations?
Yes.
I don't remember. It's been a few years since I've seen it. Is there a reason why, everybody else their ship can get caught up in the Nexus and they can go in it, but he had to blow up planets to do it?
No reason.
I mean, literally, he could get in a shuttle pod and just get sucked into it and he'd be fine.
He himself had already been in the Nexus based on the fact that he was on a ship that was
I know
trapped in the Nexus.
There's the flaw right there from the entire
Yeah.
concept of it.
Oh, totally. No, it
Now,
doesn't make any sense.
do you know what? Now, this I believe this is accurate from my readings of long ago. Do you know what the original first film was going to be?
Was that the idea of extra dimensional beings trying to save one of their offsprings, but destroying things in their wake, but not
No.
being aware
Not
of
what
the
I
fact
heard.
that they were destroying things? That was an idea. I remember reading
What I
about
heard
that.
originally, because the film's talk started much earlier than when they finally executed it.
Probably
and
in
it was
the
going
90s.
to be the concept of Yesterday's Enterprise with the
Yeah.
two crews fully in one story, not a couple cameos. And it got shelved, and it then was reworked as the episode with the Enterprise C and all that, and a whole new crew that we never had, any experience with.
Well, what? Yesterday's Enterprise is what, season 4?
I believe so.
So, yeah, no, that's early. That was also when they were pulling out of the nosedive.
Of season 1.
Yeah, and 2 and 3. Like, everything up
3's
until...
not bad.
No, I know, but the popular zeitgeist did not happen until Best of Both Worlds.
True.
And
It
and
was
they
gelling
produced-
already, but that really gelled the whole.
And Yesterday's
cast.
Enterprise after that absolutely was helping them back on the return trajectory. Like, they were doing work. And it culminated, essentially, in my opinion, in Unification 1 and 2. Like, everything...
Sela Yar, the greatest character ever.
Which one?
Sela Yar, the greatest character ever.
Oh, no, I like Sela Yar.
Kat, what do you think of Sela Yar?
What the fuck is a Sela Yar?
I don't know what that is.
Why do you hate Star Trek Next Generation so much?
I don't hate it. It used to be my white noise a long
You
time ago.
live and breathe Star Wars. You do Star Wars shows.
Star
Yeah,
Wars,
Star
I think,
Trek-
is better than Star Trek. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. That's
I
her
like
jam.
it because the thing about Star Trek. I mean, I like the original series. I got it up there. But
Return of
everybody-
Skywalker. What is it? Return of the Skywalker? Rise of Skywalker? What is that? The last movie? And Star Trek Discovery. Which one's better?
It's hard to say. God, they both so terrible.
Rise of Skywalker.
That's better than Discovery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but yeah, the thing about Star Trek is that to Rob, our friend Rob's point,
That was hard.
everybody's so professional and teaches everything in Star Trek that it's like sometimes it feels a little stale. Like I'm not that, and I'm probably in the minority on this, but I hated the interior sets of the ship in the Next Generations, and juxtaposed against the color of the shirts, the costumes they're wearing. It just looks so bland and just unappealing.
80s. This is a very 80s color palette.
Yeah, it just looks so unappealing for a. Like, you look at all the color that's in, the original series, even on the bridge and in the hallways and stuff. Whereas Next Generation's
I
just
disagree with that completely. The hallways are just as boring and gray.
or maybe the hallways were.
But you've got the primary colored
the bridge.
uniforms.
That was a show that was
Beiges
my
and
white
browns.
noise, and I just-
Beiges and browns.
And then I
That's
kind
the
of
motion picture.
bothered by the fact that after seeing Wrath of Khan, it felt like a lot of different Star Trek was trying to replicate the battleship aspect of that, but not as good.
That was Nick Horner, I think, contribution. He created that, and they chose to use that look as the 80 years later basis for Starfleet. So
Yeah, because I love that movie. I love Wrath of Khan, and I like the movies, the original movies a lot. I don't have any of them, but or I have.
What?
Well, I have Wrath of Khan on Blu-ray.
How
but I
do
don't
you
have
tell
the
me
others.
these things 2 days before Christmas that you don't have any of the Star Trek
I
movies?
forgot. No, I lied. I actually do have Wrath of Khan on Blu-ray.
That's not good enough, Kat.
Well, I've seen the 4-pack at there's several of them at Best Buy just sitting on the shelf. They've been there for months.
Best Buy still
I-
around.
I have a 10-pack.
Well, here's the thing: is that I only buy
The case of
movies
Star
that I
Trek.
think really could benefit from 4K that have really great cinematography to begin with. Like I got, for instance, the Blood and Three Flavors Ice Cream Cornetto trilogy from Edgar Wright, but I got the Blu-ray version on Prime Day because it was like $5 or something. It was a steal for all three of them.
For sure.
They have a 4K version because they did shoot them on film, but I'm like, nothing about the cinematography in those movies necessarily screams for the 4K treatment to me. It's like it's fine just watching on Blu-ray because they're like regular average. Like it's not like you have these gorgeous vistas and stuff like that. Similarly, when I'm watching some of the original Star Trek films, like the interior sets, I feel I don't need to see it in 4K. And some of the effects, obviously, for outer space are a bit dated, so I don't feel I really desperately need to see 4K. So I wasn't going to fork over the money that they were asking for that 4K set.
Well, I disagree with you in terms of having to see the Cornetto trilogy in 4K. I would love to see that because I think it's brilliantly shot. You're right. There are no vistas. Wait, there are. Like even I would love to see. I saw all 3 of those movies in theater, and seeing The World's End when Newton Haven is on fire. We stayed up until the dawn looked like fire. That would be glorious unto itself. That is better than the funeral pyre for Darth Vader. Wow.
I mean, for instance, that a movie has to be something like There Will Be Blood level cinematography. That would be great to have a 4K. There is none though. Or like Master was shot in 65, so that doesn't really need 4K because it looks just stunning already. But if it's a movie that just kind of like a regular movie, a comedy, or movie of the week action type movie, I don't really feel I would need a 4K and upgrade to that price point. Especially if it's got a lot of CGI in it. If there's CGI in a lot of them, then in a way it almost doesn't help. I mean, I know I have the Marvel movies in 4K, but that's because those are the ones that come in steelbooks, and I collect the steelbooks. But otherwise, if they had steelbook Blu-ray versions, I probably would have just gotten the Blu-ray because it would have been cheaper. And again, all the CG stuff doesn't pop. Like for instance, I saw the first 2 sequel trilogy films, Star Wars IMAX, because they filmed some of it with 65mm IMAX cameras, and the other was 35mm. They shot on film, but I couldn't tell because, again, there's so much CGI in those movies that it doesn't pop. You can't really tell that there's IMAX shots in it. It just didn't. It's like okay, it was like an HD version on a bigger screen, but I don't know. That's just me.
Well, Tony, can I tell you about a thing that I'm finagling on the internet?
Oh, what are you doing? What are you finagling?
So I got so $80 is what I'm going to spend. I'm going to have to get $80 somehow. Do you need a kidney?
Has it got something to do with you rolling around in snow?
No, not this time. So I know. I'm sorry. I don't have my OnlyFans set up. My PayPal it doesn't work. So I'm getting all of the James Bond movies, like the original James Bond DVD sets with the special features narrated by Patrick McNee, and it's like the first 20, and
nice.
$80. I think that like it's 20 movies, yo. I am also getting Quantum of Solace and Spectre.
So, does Patrick McNee just play all the characters now? Is it just they've taken the soundtrack off and it's just all Patrick McNee? So, like Honey Rider is now voiced by Patrick McNee.
He does a terrible Quarrel,
and it's like
really funny.
Oh, I say, do the collar and cuffs match? That's a terrible Patrick McNee. Sorry.
I don't even know what that means. Like, even as a euphemism. Anyway, so yeah, no, but like for 20 DVDs, like $80, that's not a bad deal, right? I'm not being taken for a sleigh ride, am I?
Well, you know what? If every character is now played by Patrick McNee, I'm fucking in.
That was the headline on the advertisement. So yes, it is the Patrick McNee James Bond collection.
That scene where Roger Moore unzips, it's not Barbara Bach, is it?
Maud Adams?
Maud Adams unzips Maud Adams with his watch and Patrick McNee's face is superimposed on both of them. I am fucking in. Make that happen now.
Well, I will get to work.
Amazon, I'm shouting up at the sky.
Jeff
Bezos, if you're looking down on me, make this happen. Sorry.
No. I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos is at sea level.
No, he lives in space, right?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
In his big dong rocket.
His dong rocket. No, he's like he's like Timothy Dalton in the Rocketeer. He's got a dirigible.
Dirigible.
I don't know how to pronounce things. So
All right,
I was
looked up. You can get the Bond 50 Blu-ray set that I have up there.
yeah.
170.
Right. So half price.
Basically being half priced.
Which I'm fine with.
Box sets,
Hello.
the blue box sets.
Hello.
Yeah. No, but the thing is that I want those original discs.
Yeah.
I want the physical media.
I was missing the booklet.
You are a big fan of your steelbooks. I want my plastic flimsy covers with ridiculous artwork. That's what I want. That's what makes me happy. And it's got and it's special features that are all going to be standard definition on the Blu-rays anyway. So what's the biggie? And it's a James Bond movie. So if it's not up to snuff, then yeah, fine. I'll get Casino Royale and Blu-ray if I want it that bad. But no, I like having the collection. It's very strange. Anyway, but speaking of things that I have that are very strange, I lost this, and I wanted to find it, and I found it, Michael.
Hello.
I thought I had lost this, and I have it. So guess what I'm doing for Christmas?
Yeah, I found another Blu-ray set of it for $75.
Yeah, but does it have the?
Let's see.
I can't see it. Yeah, it should have the bonus.
I want all the discs. I don't want a foldy book. I want the original casing. I want it. It's Christmas. I want it. Santa.
My name's Pussy Galore.
So is mine.
My name's.
What terrible parents we've had. We're both men.
Must be a Commonwealth. Must be a Commonwealth thing.
Of course. What about your cousin, Clunger Plenty?
Scott, you realize these original sets are 80 each, not 80 for all of them.
Woo!
No, it's 80 for all of them.
Not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Amazon. They're 80 a piece.
He's got Canadian Amazon, though.
One of them's 181.
Which one?
The one that's got From Russia with Love, Moonraker, World Is Not Enough, Diamonds Are Forever, You Only Live Twice, Living Daylights. I think those are the ones. And then there's the one that has The Spy Who Loved Me. Golden Gun, Dr. No.
Right.
That one's $80.
Hello.
It's difficult to find those. I have actually a few boxes.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying it to all the internet right now is that this is a thing that I'm going to get for $80. And if that means that each individual disc or box set is going to end up being more than $80, I would call that buying low and selling high.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, volume 1's $80. Volume 2, I believe, is
Yeah, no, all 20. All 20 of them, $80.
Canadian Amazon.
Canadian Amazon.
So does that wear double denim then?
Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm sick and tired of talking about the stock prices of 007 DVDs. Anybody want to talk about She-Hulk?
No, that's Canadian Bond is double denim 07.
Oh,
right?
That is true. That is true.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough She-Hulk material out there yet to talk about.
Oh no, there is.
What? Other than the teaser?
No, the John Byrne.
Oh well, yeah.
And the Peter David.
Yeah, sure.
John Byrne, Peter David. You know.
She-Hulk being awesome. Like, how would you define She-Hulk as a character?
Phenomenal.
She's like Hulk, but she's she.
Well, no, she's not like Hulk. She's strong.
No, she's not like Hulk. Yeah, she's nothing like Hulk.
Well, I mean,
She-Hulk is a cousin. Her name is Jennifer Walters, and she's a lawyer. I don't even know how she got her powers. How did she get her powers? Do you know?
Blood transfusion.
Sounds like legit.
Yeah, she was shot by a criminal to intimidate her because she was doing a defense, some trial.
Jennifer Walters is a lawyer.
And they tried to intimidate her, and she got shot. And so Bruce conveniently happened to be in town for the cousin he had never ever mentioned in 20 years. Yeah. And they gave her the transfusion. And when they came around to try to kill her in the hospital again, is when her body reacted, and she became She-Hulk and proceeded to soundly whip the shit out of them.
Well, but she doesn't even. She's sort of like a Ben Grimm character, though. She's not. Well, she doesn't change back and forth.
Well, yeah, she did early on all the time. Yeah, but she chose not to. Jennifer Walters prefers being She-Hulk. She is powerful as She-Hulk, whereas she's a tiny little woman. So it's a very big thing. She enjoys being She-Hulk. So it's a huge difference between.
The Miss, do you remember the Miss Marvel, the She Thing, Miss Marvel, second Miss Marvel?
Yeah, 80s era.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't they She-Hulk that? I mean, it's like, why just make her actually look like the Thing? I mean, they could have.
It was pretty ugly.
That was, well, she had the boobs though, so that's the thing. But apart from that, she was just.
I am looking forward to the She-Hulk series, especially if which it seems to be taking from the Byrne concept of she's aware that she's a fictional character in a TV show. Not a comic, not a comic. But I think that gives them so much room to mess around with the format, especially with her yelling at Kevin Feige off screen. Or I just think it could be.
Oh my God!
Done really well.
I want Jennifer Walters to be Liz Lemon, like the smartest person in the room who knows everything about everything.
I think that I could see that.
Yep.
Just working within a society, and it's like, don't you even understand how ridiculous this is?
I think introducing
better than Derek. Like, okay, so I would say that I am a bigger fan of She-Hulk than I am of Deadpool. I have always wanted She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk. She is the one who she is meta to a point. She's like Howard the Duck, but hot.
What are the odds that she mentions? What are the odds that she mentions Fantastic Four?
Speaking of which, I have a thing.
It's a good-looking figure too.
Thanks.
Oh yeah.
My favorite era of Fantastic Four is coincidentally the Byrne era, in which she joined the team and he used her as a replacement.
That was a fun time. That was a fun time.
I would.
That was a really good.
I have to go over there. Wait, no. Where did I put my?
So, Kat, what do you think of John Byrne's She-Hulk from the mid '80s?
Do you already know the answers to the questions you asked, Todd Michael?
Okay, is just as good as For Your Eyes Only. Do you right?
I don't know. I've not read it.
Okay. I gotta make some Bond connections. So,
well, how do you feel? No, but how do you feel about time travel in Star Wars? I think they are mutually exclusive, and I don't think they should exist together.
I do not believe. It should be foreign to Star Wars.
Yeah, agreed.
I can deal with the Filoni-verse creation of a world between worlds, which is where the time travel comes into play. But I don't know if I ever want to see it again. And the only reason I'm happy I saw it is because I am a Ahsoka Tano fan. So I anything to give me some Ahsoka Tano and I'm good.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Cannot wait for that series.
That the only reason he invented the world between worlds was to come up with a unique way to save Ahsoka from Vader. And that there's
which doesn't make any sense to me because we never saw them actually end their battle. So she could have. There was nothing implied in their battle in that episodes of Rebels that she was going to necessarily be defeated by Vader.
Well, you do see Vader walking away after the fight, and his mask is partly broke open, and the temple's collapsed.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's if you don't see it, you have no idea. You could have written anything in that battle.
Right.
But
Also,
I did like
people. Oh, sorry. I was going to say it's just a quick point. Also, people are still complaining that Darth Vader's going to be in the Obi-Wan series, and it's like, well, he clearly knew that Anakin was Darth Vader, right? So he must have found that at some point, and he must have fought him while he was in the armor. So,
well, and let's also remember that one of the glaring plot holes in Star Wars has always been that Anakin, he's from Tatooine. So where do you look first when you've lost something? I don't know. Check your house. I own the galaxy. I'm going to check my room. I'm going to go see what's going on Tatooine. And that's the thing. It's the difficulty. Like, let's not think that Obi-Wan is just sitting there on a rock watching over the Lars homestead and being like, nothing happened today. Like, he's doing stuff. So to think that Darth Vader is not a part of the Obi-Wan series is, I don't even know how to describe that.
I am excited that they're bringing in the Inquisitors into it, which makes perfect sense for the era. But Hayden Christensen, it could be flashback. I mean, that's the thing that fans speculate the shit out of everything to the point.
Oh my God, is it going to be Mephisto?
It's Mephisto. Yeah, Hayden Christensen is playing Mephisto. It could be anything, and fans are going to complain if it's not what they create in their headcanon.
Yeah.
Or something that doesn't even exist yet. And fans are the worst thing of everything.
Oh, by the way, if John Hamm is not Mr. Fantastic, I'm burning my entire home.
Oh no, come on. We know it's going to be Krasinski. We know it's going to be Krasinski.
Based on the resurgence of Andrew Garfield, I think it's time to give Ion Graffoud a second chance.
That's a fucking good call, though. That's a fucking good call. I was going to say, I really hope that they do something to pretend that the Inquisitors don't have the helicopter lightsabers, but they use them in the Fallen Order video game. So that's
why are helicopters so contentious in the Star Wars thing? Like, people are like, and some people think they don't like these helicopter lightsabers, and it's just like, did you see the telekinesis? And the helicopter lightsabers are freaking you out. Okay,
I thought they really botched the Grand Inquisitor in the first season of Rebels. I mean, he had Jason Isaacs. It was really good character, and they just got rid of him after one season. And he pulls one really great con where he gets the body of Luminara and Dooley to try and bait them. And that was creepy and great. And it's like, we need more of that. But then, no, they just killed him off at the end of the season. And I was like, come on.
Let's just say this. They also introduced a great villain in Darth Maul and cut him in half in the very first movie.
Star Wars
has
a bad habit of making incredibly cool villains and they're just wasting them.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's well lamented.
I'm waiting for the Admiral Piet trilogy. And I think it'll all be solved during that.
I am toting for a fucking Piet.
A couple years ago.
It's Tim.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, it is a friend. Hey Tim, what's up, bud?
Hey.
You know what? I have a thing. I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How was it having a conversation with Kat for 3.5 hours?
I mean, we had a good conversation. Or what are we talking about? Like the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that was a long stream. Yeah.
It was a long stream. I fell asleep to it, woke up, and then fell asleep to it again. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm an old man who works in a thing.
No, I didn't realize we went so late. I was trying to condense the
But it was
show down to
amazing. Like when you guys were ranking your favorite Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my one buddy liked Spider-Man. What was it? Spider-Man 3. That's his favorite.
Oh yeah, he
Spider-Man
was
film.
obsessed with that. That was actually kind of funny and really cool. I'm like, man,
It
you don't
is
The
cool.
only person that likes Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Spider-Man 3, though, so don't give the guy slack.
Oh, I didn't give him
Or
crap for it. I
black.
thought it was really cool to see somebody that passionate about it.
Great.
Oh yeah.
He was a
That's
fun
weird.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 3 does have its high points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sandman was a good character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, the movie's grown on me. I'll say this, like it's that a nostalgic feel to it, and that dance. I like the dance now. I think it's funny every time I see it.
No, I still cringe.
You still cringe.
Yeah, I still do to this
Yeah.
day. It's just like this is, and I understand where he's coming from, but it's like Sam Raimi trying to envision Venom is just not gonna happen. Like it's
didn't
not
want
gonna
him.
work.
Yeah.
He was all about the Ditko era, that
Yeah.
60s era, what he grew up with as his Spider-Man. And I can see why being forced by the studio to put a modern Spider-Man villain in was a problem.
Yeah. Like I would put the original Spider-Man, the original 2 Sam Raimi Spider-Man, up against Donner's Superman. Like, and that's a 2-to-1 fight. And usually Superman wins, but I would put them in a ring anytime.
I still haven't
Yeah.
finished that movie.
Which one?
Dick Donner's Superman.
He wins. Superman
saw
wins.
I
Spoilers.
saw it up to the point when when Lex Luthor pushes him into the kryptonite pool, and then I had to go to work.
Oh my God! But there's a lady, the hot lady from Slaughterhouse 5,
I'm not
kisses
gonna lie,
him.
I was really bored up to that point, and I just didn't have an inkling to go back and finish it. So I will eventually, because they're all on HBO Max. So
He lifts up a tectonic plate.
I liked it as a kid because I was 8 when it came out.
Yeah.
And then by the time of my teen years, I thought I just hated the Luthor in it. I hated the bumbling companion. I hated the bimbo girlfriend. That just
All the things that you hate make me happy.
it is of its era, but it's not what I needed by the time I was, like 13, 14 in my Superman. So
You probably
Marv
don't even like
Wolfman-
Lieutenant
Marv Wolf-
Ilea.
Marv Wolfman gave me what I need in terms of a Luthor. And then we say Clancy Brown is the best Luthor, period. So
what was he from?
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. He is the Superman in a good
Wasn't
chunk
he
of
the
the
Kurgan?
animated
He was
stuff.
the Kurgan
He
in
was
the
the
Highlander.
Kurgan in the Highlander.
Oh, he's Luthor in the animated stuff. Then you mean?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
and
Oh,
he
okay.
is the best Luthor, hands down,
Fair
Oh.
enough.
in my opinion.
I
just-
will never.
I can't watch Luthor without going, I wish that was Clancy Brown.
Like that's a thing. Like when I ask people who their favorite James Bond movie or James Bond is, I will give them the proviso you can't say Connery because I think it's a lazy answer. So when I ask someone who is a Superman fan or a Batman fan, when they answer, it's like Tim Daly, or
Evan Conroy.
exactly is the one that I should have remembered first. But yeah, it's just like agreed.
Because Tim Daly was only in the actual Superman animated series. He was recast in the Justice League and beyond.
But I love that first, like the pilot for the Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
In the Tim verse, I love it. I think it's great. I've seen
It's also
Batman-
one of the best
Batman-
interpretations of Brainiac.
Yes.
Hey, Scotty,
Yes. Ooh, yes.
guess who my favorite Bond is?
Sean Connery.
Yes, I could give you reasons why. I don't think
Why?
that's-
You have an entire 5-hour stream every Wednesday night to do that.
Yeah, we do. I'm not getting into it now, but that's not a lazy answer. There's a good reason for it.
But it's an
We'll
easy
get into that.
answer.
Well, you know what? That'll make a great topic for next week's show when we.
David
I-
Niven.
Yes.
See, and that's my favorite. Actually, you know what? I enjoy Woody Allen because never mind. No, I can't. I can't even follow through on that joke. I'm going to be removed from the tubes that are you.
Oh, you're already removed. I've been trying to cancel you for months now. So
No one is watching this. This is amazing. I love our Zoom calls.
Does that mean
So,
we're not
Tim,
having giveaways?
well, I don't know. There's no one here to give anything away to. We tried it last night.
sorry.
So
Sorry
if
about the noise.
No, but I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just saying, like, if we're If there's nobody here to give anything away to, then I don't want to, like, this isn't something that I want to throw on the street. I want to give this to someone who enjoys us.
Right.
Nobody enjoys us.
No one does, and that's the best part.
Yeah. I guess what you have
Merry
to do is
Christmas.
let's see.
Everyone.
Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
My headset's being all kind of wacky. I don't know what's going on.
Does it light up or is it just blue?
It's just blue.
Oh, okay.
Can
I
you-
thought it was like glowing there for a minute.
Yeah.
Tim, can I ask you
Damn
production
it.
favors? Can you do
What?
the cool lights? Can you do the cool lights?
What are the cool lights? Like the lightsabers?
No. Just when you're never mind. I'm sorry. I'm asking too much. I'm asking for production. And I'm
Oh.
not your real director.
Yeah.
So you saw The Matrix.
Yeah, I did, man. I've watched it
Yeah,
twice
what'd
so
you think?
far. Matrix, the first Matrix film is my favorite film of all time. So I had keep that in mind. But I was underwhelmed with it by a lot. I mean, it just I feel like some of the concepts were cool. I saw what they're trying to do. I appreciate the upgraded technology and stuff like that. But it felt very just anticlimactic because I could see what they're doing. It's predictable. I don't like what they did with Morpheus. In even the sentient version of him didn't. even
Morpheus
seem
has
like
always
Morpheus.
been sentient.
No, he was alive.
Tim, you have to understand. Scotty hasn't seen the movie.
I haven't seen
Oh.
it. I don't know what
He doesn't
Oh, crap,
care. He doesn't
sorry.
seem to care.
Oh.
No, he doesn't seem to care. But
Yeah, he doesn't care about spoilers.
Yeah, I can
Not for
pick
this
apart
movie.
It just it made him too silly. It didn't even feel like him.
How do you make Morpheus silly?
Yeah, and if you're gonna bring back characters, you better have the original characters. It bothered me with Agent Smith. They didn't bring him back, the actor, real famous actor.
What I
or
said.
whatever. Yeah, but the new guy was fine. I do like how they connected
Well,
him.
Now I heard
Okay.
about this part that there's a guy who plays or tries to emulate Agent Smith. But how did you feel? Was it in oh my god, it was in Revolutions, I think, when Smith downloaded himself into a real person?
Yeah,
Remember that guy?
yeah, I remember
see,
that guy.
okay. Can I say something, Scotty? You haven't seen it. In the future that they're in, so it's 60.
We said spoilers an
60.
hour
I
ago.
know. 60 years roughly, I think, was it established from the end of the Matrix Revolutions. So by this time, the AIs can create this kind of physical form in the real world. It's made up of nanos. I don't know. Whatever. It's so they can come out. The programs can become somewhat interactive in the real world. It would have been better if Smith had come, just like Tim was saying, you guys were saying, Smith would have come in this movie through the Matrix as an antagonist that way.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring him back, and it had to be Hugo Weaving, because why bother bringing him back?
I guess
And the guy doesn't try to be Hugo Weaving all the time, but he'll say a line or he'll do a motion to go, see, hey, look who I am. And that's where it's.
When I saw the first spoiler review, it was a guy, and they were talking exactly about the comparison between Hugo Weaving and New Smith.
Jonathan,
And how he's absolutely sorry, which?
Jonathan Groff is the new Smith.
Can I just call him New Smith? I don't want to remember that name. So yeah, no. And it was just you're always going to be thinking about that. And so why not just name him a new person?
Well,
why
for
does
the
he have to-
record, they did try and get Hugo Weaving to come back, but he actually did genuinely.
Yeah, but he's unavailable. So call the guy like Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my major issue was it was trying to.
And
be
when
too-
when he says Mr. Anderson, it's like you're going to be instantly thinking of Smith, no matter what. Someone says Mr. Anderson in such an aggressive way, I'm just easy, Neo. That is what I say to people when I'm in a bank line and they're like, Mr. Anderson. And I'm like, what the? Anyway. So,
Yeah. To that, they could have easily said that he was an offspring program of Smith or whatever, and I think I would have been more acceptable with that idea. But my major issue was
Sure.
it was very too meta, and it was too self-aware, and it was like I felt like I was watching Scream, where it's kind of like a parody of like horror flicks, and it went too hardcore onto that. So I was like, it just kind of seemed silly and cheap. So, yeah.
Much like our show.
Tim, what did you think of the action in this movie?
It wasn't that good. Like for a film
Okay.
that's like The Matrix that revolutionized the technology.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and also, I just have a quick question just to toss off. You saw Spider-Man as well, yes?
Yep.
Which one is better, Matrix or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Well,
Okay,
like,
did you see No Time to Die?
yes, I saw that.
Which one out of the three is the best?
Spider-Man for sure.
Okay, I disagree, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like No Time to Die. I know it was way
Out
too
of the
long.
three, which one is the worst?
Matrix.
Wow.
Maybe that's
Okay.
because I just think like for a property like The Matrix and to be known for like the newer technology and fighting
What
the
I said.
explosions, it was just weak, man. It was just like it wasn't that impressive at all. Like if you're a Matrix film, it should be like action should be more ridiculous than like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Well, like we were mentioning earlier, the great thing about the action in the original trilogy is that they actually got a martial arts master to choreograph all that stuff, and it was so good. Whereas here, it's just like a
Yeah,
combination.
apparently
of
they did not.
shaky close-ups, shaky cam, and fast cutting to the point that it's like I can't make sense of what the hell's happening in the action, and it just looks really bad.
Whooping.
Yeah. I did actually like the meta stuff. I thought that was really cool, but unfortunately they didn't do anything with it because like 45 minutes in, they abandoned all the meta shit to go tell like another bland, mediocre Matrix story after that point. So I was like, oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah. I like the idea somewhat, but I just felt like they went too far with it. But I went thinking back at it as a second time watching. I appreciate it a little bit more because it's like, how do you mock someone that was essentially like this Neo, meaning the one, like this godlike figure for everyone, and then like it's kind of like mocking everything he did, and it would kind of drive him crazy if you look at it from that way. But yeah.
So Tony, how's your audio there?
Not too bad. How's yours?
Hold on.
Oh, we're hearing everything you're doing. I'm just saying.
Yes. So one of these, you see? Mm.
Oh my
Pretty
God.
good. This is the best mic. This is the best mic I've ever had, and it's on my phone.
Oh no, and it's not the microphone that we're discouraging. It's the sounds.
Hang on,
Like,
I'll eradicate those sounds.
Let's take it from take one. Can you just say fee, fi, fo, fum?
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Not five. I'm not
I
asking you for
smell
your
the
pin
blood
number.
of us Canadian man.
Oh, that is
He
big.
sounded like Terrier
The
there.
Canadian.
A little bit. Okay, so
Did Matrix 2 or the next Matrix movie, did it get greenlit? Like,
well, it will.
Direct to HBO Max.
I suppose it depends on the box office performance of this film, and I don't know. Is it doing well? Like everyone was all hot potato about what was going on with the Spider-Man opening. I guess it only opened yesterday, so we'll find out how it goes over Christmas weekend. I don't know what the lockdown situation is. I love going to a movie on Christmas Day, but I can't because I'm going to be hanging out with Black Phillip Alvarez on Christmas night after I eat roast beef. We are shunning tradition and dissuading against the turkey.
Yeah, we're having short rib.
Well, I've had a short rib. Her name was Stacy.
what were you showing us, Scotty? Your Batman? You had like new Batman figure?
Yeah, I gotta get scissors. You're right. I gotta get scissors. I'll be back in a second.
But yeah, I think Matrix already shot themselves in the feet by dropping on HBO Max. I think that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, I don't understand why when they realized earlier in the year that that strategy was failing, that they didn't just roll it back and say, sorry, we're not doing that anymore. Because I think it would have made a lot more money. There's no way it's gonna break even on the budget, I don't think, especially with the amount of very mixed critical reception it's getting. That might drive people away, especially when you got competition from like Spider-Man and Nightmare Alley, movies with a lot better reviews right now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make if you know your movie's got a chance in hell, it's going to make that money that initial weekend. If it's not that great, then because it's going to drop 60% or more that second week.
Yeah. I guess.
But like I said, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say. I guess how it ended, like it doesn't really need a second and third film. So I think that's
neither did the first film.
Yeah, that's true.
I just felt it had the vibe of trying to draw people to HBO Max. And then when Kat pointed out that she thought it looked and it was shot like a Netflix movie, I was like, oh yeah. So, because it was all digital, it wasn't shot on film. And that could very well be, because they can reduce the costs of it and just do them all on streaming now.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It didn't even feel like a Matrix film. That's what was major issue. If they get a second one, there was a line about them saying, they're going to change some things about the Matrix or whatever. They had the joke about the rainbows and stuff, but hopefully they bring back some of that hue to the Matrix, because I feel like that kind of gives it that feel of the Matrix.
Yeah, it just didn't look. I mean, every time they had a little flash of a subliminal message from the original movies, those little flashes, the cinematography was so much better. Whereas here, I literally was checking my TV settings to see if that smooth motion setting was on, because that's how bad it looked. I'm like, I just don't understand. Oh well, I don't think they're going to do another one. I don't see how. I mean, if this one, given the mixed reception, and if it flops, I don't know if they'll. Then again, I'm not even sure if Lana wants to make another one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard one person say they like that. Like they think it's like an awesome film. Like
I think it's an awesome film.
Said nobody.
I haven't seen it, Scotty.
Oh, that. Yeah. No, I'm disqualified. Hey, Tim. Actually, this is up for the entire panel, and anyone who's in the chat. I suppose I'm going to do a trivia question, because if nobody's watching, then somebody's going to lose.
Uh-oh.
Who was, for Back to the Future Trilogy Code, who was originally cast as Marty McFly in the original epic?
Eric
Stoltz.
Oh my God. Todd Michael, do you have a copy of Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't need a copy. And he's still in the movie. He's still in the final movie. He
punches Biff.
His hand is the hand that punches Biff in the restaurant, the diner.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen the footage of him?
Yeah.
It seems wrong after all this time to show that footage, because it just he there was a reason he was definitely not right for the role.
Well, it's kind of like he was expected to be in a John Hughes movie.
Was that it?
I think so. I think so. It was so he was taking it a little bit more seriously, and he wasn't being did I say Tiberiously?
No, you're absolutely right. It was serious. When you see the deleted scenes, he's very not as flippant as
Marty.
Just the tone of the character is different.
Like he is bucking against the system with every line. And it's like, no, that's not Marty McFly. Marty McFly is not an angry rebel. Marty McFly is a rebellious, intelligent teenager. Like, he doesn't care. Why are you friends with Doc Brown? Fuck you. That's why. That's who Marty McFly is, not necessarily, well, what do you mean about that? What does it mean about me? And so, Eric Stoltz was very much a defensive individual, whereas nobody calls Michael J. Fox's Marty McFly chicken.
That's kind of funny. Like,
that's
you can
a
tell
retcon.
them. Yeah. Was it a retcon?
There was nothing
Well-
in the original movie about the chicken thing.
No, I know that, but it makes I appreciate we are talking about the Matrix on this particular episode. Spoilers for Back to the Future. But I appreciate the fact that the original Back to the Future was never intended to be a trilogy. That's a thing. That is not a thing.
No, most films are not.
So when they introduce new things to propel the storyline, and also I think it's great that they tried to trip up Marty McFly with a nonsensical thing, and it's like, when someone calls Marty chicken, that's when he's doing bad stuff. He's lost his top, and it's like, yeah, I get that. It's a character flaw, and I enjoy character flaws.
That's funny that you mentioned that because in the Matrix movie, Trinity's name is changed to Trish, because she's been kind of plugged back into the Matrix.
But what was her name in the real world in the original? Do you know?
I don't think that was ever discussed.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Because she'd already been decanted from the Matrix for a long time.
Well, and also I always thought that she was a man.
What?
Really?
No, that's what Neo says. You're Trinity. I always thought that you were a man.
Oh,
come on, guys, keep up.
Yeah,
context.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Matrix. I don't even know how much I have to give you.
Yeah, and none of us, at least me, I haven't seen the original in a long time.
Well, then you should develop a photographic memory for films from the late 90s.
That's not what I let Kat do that.
Well, I did it just now, and no one got it. Anyway, so check out this cape.
Very nice.
It's very Batman-y. Who is that? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's a Silver Age. It's Batman 66, Adam West Batman.
Yeah, I know, right? This was under $30.
Nice.
And now he can collect dust for the rest of your life.
Well, oh my. Well, and you know what? I really appreciate that they overdid the spikes
Paunch
on the gloves. Oh, the paunch. Oh no, and the paunch is there.
Oh, he's definitely got Adam West build. They didn't try to glamorize that at all.
Yeah, no, this is middle-aged man. But anyway, yeah, no, this is my no Batman. Merry Christmas.
You did not get the Robin. Is there a Robin or is there not a Robin?
You know what, dude? Okay, so seriously, this is $25 worth of plastic and cloth. So I could have got a Cesar Romero Joker, and I was like, you know what? Only a weirdo gets the Joker first.
Is it clearly that on the sculpt that he's got a mustache and it's painted over?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I was say if you're going to give me a Cesar Romero Joker, I want the mustache but painted over like the figure was, like a character.
Well, if it's not on Amazon Prime, it looks like I'm going to Walmart tomorrow, Todd Michael. Thank you.
Oh,
but this looks so good.
Why don't you wait a couple days and come Sunday it may be on sale or discounted or clearance?
Oh no. My action figure of John Delancey and my action figure of Adam West, they just had a Reichenbach fall.
Reichenbach fall. Did you get any tips today or anything? Has there been any activity?
Oh no one's watching.
Oh, well, I tipped you, so fuck you.
What? When?
Earlier in the show when Steve was still on.
Oh, well, no, I know. Anyway, we can't. This is not a Zoom call. This is a television show on your computer. I was kind of hoping that we would be having Christmas parties and talking about disparate things. And you know what? There was a ragamuffin. And I appreciated his presence, but we did eventually have to be like, well, if you're going to talk over the hosts. But they both left at the same time, Steve and Cap. And so, yeah, now it's just me. But I was really hoping that Steve would come back.
Cockney's in the chat now.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a gentleman. He was being a bit of me. He was being a bit of a Tasmanian devil. And you know what? He's put up with me when I've been a Tasmanian devil. But he has also put me in a penalty box. So while temperates were high, I don't think I did anything wrong. Anyway, I do have another thing I can show you. This is the good one.
Uh-oh. Fantastic Four. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, Tim. Seriously, do you not see this?
Mm-mm.
I don't
Pretty
think he
cool.
was in. He wasn't on the stream when you showed it earlier.
The Thing.
Nice.
Oh,
It's a good
and
sculpt. It's a good looking sculpt.
it is a good looking sculpt. Now, I suppose the question is, which one would you prefer? And I know it's weird. I only have 50% of the Fantastic Four. Also,
Herbie the robot.
I'm not opening this without Terje. But should I open the Thing or Sue?
I don't know. The Thing. I'd say the Thing.
I
I
agree.
just realized they are wearing their Byrne revised costumes, uniforms. The
Oh, yeah,
negative,
no.
they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're wearing that era, even though they don't look like Byrne figures or style.
$30.
Holy crap.
Do they come with
Well-
a Build-A-Figure pieces or any of that stuff?
Oh no. No.
Because that's how you should do. Robbie the or not Robbie. Herbie the robot should be a Build-A-Figure out of the four of them. Is there a She-Hulk in Fantastic Four livery or not?
Oh yeah, no, I bought it. I opened the box. It is currently inside me.
Okay.
What? We're not allowed to go blue? Yeah, no, no. Not that I've seen. Here are the things that are available in the line.
Okay, so it's Psycho Man and whoever that's at the end. I can't read it. Who's next to Psycho Man? Oh, High Evolutionary.
No
Okay, so-
Mole Man?
No Mole Man.
Fuck that. You want me to get all four? Give me a Mole Man.
I agree with you, Cockney, that they did, retcon some things. And that stupid little book that came out before the last, or was it Rise of Skywalker? How they kind of changed the Knights of Ren stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
The Knights of Ren. Remember the Knights of Ren? How cool they were supposed to be, and then they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
No.
they were as
Well,
useless as
Remember Captain
Stormtroopers.
Phasma? How awesome she was supposed to be, and then she didn't do anything.
Like, oh, I got a cape and I'm chrome.
Can you even imagine the joy of the fan base of both Game of Thrones and Star Wars if Julie Christie, what's her name? Gwendolyn
Julie Christie.
Gwendolyn Christie, right?
Yes, I think Gwendolyn
And-
something.
Gwendolyn something. Gwendolyn Phasma. She takes off her helmet and she's got long flowing like red Sonya blonde hair. I know that's a contradiction, and it's just like, is there a moment where you could make this badass chick both badass and a chick? I was looking forward to something happening with Phasma.
She should have been through three films. Her storyline should not have been wrapped up until the very end of the third film, in which she confronts
Finn.
so that their arc goes. Anyway.
Yeah, all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
There was no purpose for that character to be in the movie to begin with, which is why she doesn't fit.
You know what?
I agree too, but if you're gonna bring her in, you gotta do something with her.
Yeah, anything.
She was meant to be Boba Fett in the terms of, ooh, this mysterious character. Look how cool she looks. Oh, and guess what? We can do real cheap repaints of toys for her by just using the same existing mold and just it. She was a creation of the studio. Does he come with a cigar?
Does he
No,
smash
he does
things?
not.
Oh,
Well,
you need to make him a little cigar because he's
No,
got
but
to
look
have a
at-
cigar.
look at the articulation. Like,
Nice.
this is great.
And surprisingly, it worked. Even though there's the seams, it works very well with his cracks on his skin and all. So it kind of hides the seams a bit.
Totally. Well, that's part of the reason why I didn't buy either Johnny Storm or Reed Richards, is because their powers, they don't
They
translate
look like shit.
in action figure form, of course. And so when you see this, it's like, oh my God. And it's heavy. Like I would
It
accept
looks
this
like
as
it's
an
got some
award.
mass. It's got some mass to it.
Well, it's the
Bulky.
thing. It better. So, but yeah, no, I don't want Johnny Storm because it's just going to be a red glow stick. And then Mr. Fantastic, he's not going to stretch. So I'm happy with Ben.
Can I admit something that I've never admitted to anybody?
I would prefer it if you didn't.
Okay.
Tell us.
I actually don't dislike the first Fantastic Four movie that they did.
Like the Roger Corman one?
No.
Oh, I love that
one
one.
with-
That's my favorite.
I don't think. I thought they were the cast was. I wish they were a little older. I think they should have started with not done an origin story, but of course most people don't know who the hell the Fantastic Four is. But
Not my
you know,
problem.
you could have done them already as a family with Franklin, like maybe a 4 or 5, maybe 7-year-old Franklin, and then you done some flashback to explain how they got there.
I don't like Franklin.
Oh, see, I do.
Okay.
I like
I
the
like-
guy that
I
was
like-
cast a stretch or whatever.
Reed
Yeah,
Richards.
Reed Richards.
Ione
Stretch.
Grapho.
It's Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they can't do Dr. Doom right to save their ass. But I thought the casting of the
Well.
leads for what they were pretty good. And I thought Chickless was fantastic as the Thing.
Oh, yeah, and as do I. I think that
And I thought what's his name was a perfect Johnny Storm.
Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. I thought he was the quintessential Johnny of the comics early on.
I would
I
like
mean,
to
really-
say that it is difficult to balance my Ben Grimm.
Jessica Alba could have been any woman, though, I think. So she was like the weakest of the lead casting. But okay, I got that off my chest now. And
Well, no, but I appreciate all of them. Like
is
It's
it
kinda
a
like-
great movie? No, but it's
No.
it's not a horribly awful film, except
no, but
that
the first one is better than the second one.
it's just like I don't understand why they can't do Doctor Doom. Are they afraid to do the magician aspect, the sorcerer aspect? What are they so afraid to do from the comics?
Well, it's kind of the same reason that they haven't really introduced Namor. Is that
Well, he's supposed to be. I mean, at least I thought that was part of that next Black Panther movie. He was
right? But the thing is that Doctor Doom is akin to Namor in terms of, is that how you pronounce it, Namor?
I always pronounce it Namor.
Okay,
I
and
don't know
so
if that's how, but I mean,
I don't know. I'm not from Atlantia. That's why he
Kat, what
wants
is
to kill me.
pronunciation. Kat, you're the authority. What's the pronunciation?
What, Namor?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's
she just
Namor.
said it.
And what is his
But-
moniker? Pronounce his moniker. I want to see how you pronounce it.
What's his moniker? I don't know. I don't
Is
know
it
anything
the
about this.
Submariner or the Submariner?
Submariner.
Submariner.
I've always said Submariner, but I remember diehard people in the comic store when I worked in the comic store would fight you over it being Submariner.
When I was a
silly.
child, I called it Submariner, and then I learned how to pronounce things. So, yeah, Submariner. Tim,
Comic book store arguments were always the best in the 80s, though. I loved working in a comic store in the 80s. It was a good time.
but the reason that I bring up Namor, the Submariner,
Gamer.
and in relation to Doctor Doom is because these are not villains; they are antagonists.
Antagonists.
And so it's a difficult thing to try and make it so that the audience is both against them yet sympathetic. Like Marvel is always, at least the MCU, has always had a difficulty with like empathetic or at least engaging villains. And so Doctor Doom is a very difficult cat's cradle.
Yeah.
So same as Mariner, sub.
Yeah,
sub
most of Marvel's villains kind of. I was always a DC guy, but the DC villains are also. There's a couple great ones, and then everybody's got their rogues gallery, but there's a lot of flotsam and jetsam in the rogues galleries of every hero.
Well, and that's what I mean when I look on the back of the box of the action figure that I just opened with this totally bitchin' Ben Grimm head.
That's a good,
Nice.
Good expression.
It is a good expression, but I like him being placid. I don't want him to wake up in the middle of the night and kill me. So, but like, I lost.
Here's a
my train of
question. Go back to the comic store chat and the childish chat.
Yes.
Do you think Ben Grimm, is this penis a Rocky thing too, or does he just not have when he turned into the rock form, did he lose that?
Well, I always thought of Ben Grimm as being a well-endowed gentleman. And when he turned into the Thing, I assume that, yes, the man has to pee.
But because he lost fingers, he doesn't have 5 fingers as Ben Grimm, does he?
We're going to have to ask Alicia Masters.
True, she would know.
And by touch.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's a blind woman.
She is a blind lady.
You know what? And this is part of the reason why I never got invested in The Walking Dead. That Laurie Holden, great actress, but what a bitch to Ben Grimm in the first Fantastic Four. And so then I see The Walking Dead happen, and I'm just like, you're a dick.
Well, then there was the second film, which got me all excited because it had Frankie Ray, who was one of my favorite characters of that era, and they did nothing with her.
Well, and also, what the hell? Like, if you would like to see Andre Brower just collect a paycheck and stand in a uniform, watch Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer. You know what? I'd rather watch The Rise of the Silver Surfer than The Rise of the Skywalker, to be fair. But it's still a pile.
Skywalker.
Somehow.
Yeah. Rise of Palpatine. Some people call it Rise of Palpatine. They refuse to say Rise of Skywalker.
Well, there were no Skywalkers who rose.
Yeah, it's true. It's really the Rise of Palpatine.
Like if they were
Ben Solo Skywalker lineage rises from the crevice and then at the end of the movie on Exegol. But yeah, that's not very good.
It should be called the last Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know what for a second there, I thought that I had the perfect word, but I don't think that I'm that hubristic to be able to say what would have fixed it. I liked the first 2 of the sequel trilogy. I can't stand the last one, so I don't watch it. Just fuck it.
Yeah. I don't like the second one. Like, you can obviously tell it's like by different directors. Like the total
for
shift.
sure. But do you like the third one better than the second one?
Oof. Well,
I know I'm asking you to choose between 2 rotten fruit.
I think the third one's a lot more entertaining, and it seems more like a Fast and Furious movie, which you shouldn't say that about Star Wars, because it was just like ridiculous at the end what they were doing, and so I would say I do slightly like it more than the second one, just because I feel like it's more entertaining or just a little bit more enjoyable, I guess.
The opinions of me do not reflect the opinions of the Fantasmagorium show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. But Tim, I accept your apology.
Yeah, I do like Force Awakens though.
So do I. Yeah. Totes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited for the next film. Like, I was there like opening night on Thursday. I remember waiting. I got there like 40 minutes early so I could get a good seat. And yeah, I about left an hour into the movie. I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad and it's boring. And I was on like a blind date too or whatever. And I didn't want to leave because of her. I wanted to leave because of the movie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and being a Star Wars fan, like I remember.
What did she think of the movie? Do you remember? What did she think of the movie, Tim?
I think as a collective group, we thought everyone in the theater was like silent, and when the movie ended, we just all kind of walked. But yeah, everyone kind of agreed. They were like, it was just very mad to them. They're like, what was this? Didn't really feel like Star Wars, and yeah.
Well, and sorry, Kat.
Which one was that they walked out of?
The
good one.
The second one, The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's an excellent one. I put that probably at my number 3.
And I accept your apology because you're wrong. Don't get overzealous.
No, I'm not wrong. It ties in very nicely.
Fair enough. That was just an emotional reaction. I apologize.
Holy crap!
Perrier's in the chat.
Well,
Dropping
I
those
suppose.
dollar bills.
Perrier with a $50 krona.
I don't even know what the exchange rate is, so I'm going to accept it as being generous. Terje Tiberius
it's-
Monk.
7 cents, US cents.
Well, it's all ours. Merry Christmas! Back home with the folks, and I already want to kill them. Joy! Well, Santa Claus, do you have a shed? Do you have a chainsaw? Hey, do you have an oversized picture of who's the bad guy from Ghostbusters 2?
Vigo.
So
Yeah.
I just checked, and 50 Norwegian kroner comes out to $5.66.
Well, it is very generous. It's better than 7 cents. How dare you undermine our tipper? Thank you so much.
Mm. But then again, I don't know how recent they're sourcing for the exchange rate.
Well, your silver lining is uninteresting to me, so I would like to discuss a dark cloud.
Oh man, I'm reading that William Shatner got in a bad car accident yesterday.
Oh my God, did he kill anybody again?
No injuries, which is good, but the car is pretty totaled.
That's crazy. He's like 90-some, 98, or
No, he's
He
not.
was recently in the stratosphere.
yep. I saw him at Comic-Con. Like literally like 20 feet away.
Yeah, me too.
I
What
got
a
his
presence.
autograph at a con at Wizard World Con in Sacramento back in 2014. He's pretty cool because when you go up there, and this is obviously before like pandemic and before, like nowadays, if you go to the major cons to see him, there's so many people in line. He doesn't have time to talk to anybody. But the one I went to, there were only like maybe 10 of us in line. So he actually spent like a good amount of time one-on-one with each person. And he's really cool because he treats you while you're up there as if you're like the most important person in the world to him at the time, which is really cool.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And that, so yeah, I got his autograph on a Captain Kirk headshot somewhere around here. Maybe it might actually be right under here. Let's see.
Well, while Kat's looking for that, I just want to say, have you guys tried the Chuck Tingle book club?
What?
Have you guys tried the Chuck Tingle book club?
Nope.
I've only introduced you to Chuck Tingle.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, let's make Chuck Tingle a thing.
Hmm.
I will say this: you got a book before I myself got a book, so I don't know what it reads like. But I am
Tim,
looking forward to getting one.
Have you read the title of this book?
Scary stories to tingle your. Oh my gosh. Is this like a goofy book, or just kind of like
No,
a?
I don't know.
He's a Hugo Award-winning writer.
Hmm.
Yeah, it says so right here.
Chuck
So-
Tingle.
So anyway, would you like to hear the description of the book?
Sure.
Unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but I have a bunch of other stuff like that.
Kat, would you
Yeah.
like to hear about the scary stories to tingle your lesbian butt?
No.
All right, well then, guys, I'm sorry, I got to shut it down.
Can we talk about something else Cat hated?
Unlimited power in
Oh,
McDermott.
nice.
Oh yeah, no, you are such a I don't want to call you a photo or an autograph hound, but like you have choice interactions with these people as
did.
well.
This one here is a really good one. This is a Matt Wood, top dog at Skywalker Sound.
Scotty, you should make her big. Or
Me and Daniel Logan from these are from Celebration
We can
Chicago.
see Scott's huge face and her reflection.
Autographed by Lynn Peterson.
nice.
He did all the model work, a lot of the, and then I got a picture with him as well.
Oh wow.
And then my best one is actually right over here. I'll bring them over. Okay.
All I've got is a book by Chuck Tingle.
This one is
God bless us, everyone.
favorites right here, Ray and Ian.
Nice.
It arrived
Who's that?
days earlier than it originally was supposed
Wait,
to.
wait. Was that Avery and Sirach?
Ooh,
No, it was Ray and Ian.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Here, see.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul and Darth Sidious.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this clean up. I got lucky there. My Star Trek ones must be in another folder downstairs somewhere, but that'll take too long to find.
Well, it's been 2 hours, and I'm gonna sign off. And it's been great talking to you, and it's been so Christmassy on the Christmas show of the Fantasmagorium show.
We haven't even talked about Christmas once.
I know.
How do you feel about Christmas before you go?
I am not a fan of Christmas, so
You don't like joy?
I just don't enjoy Christmas as an adult. I think it's something that's for children, and when adults start to go crazy with it, I like the trappings of it, but I'm not a big fan of it.
All right.
I'm not a fan of gift giving and No, I'll take that. I'm not a fan of gift getting. I do not like to have things purchased for me. And it's
No
a weird
one is
thing,
ever like,
but I do not like to receive gifts. I don't like any feeling of obligation that I have to return something. And at Christmas, there's always just not a fan of it. I would rather, go out and have a really good meal and spend, with a group of people and have a good time that way than, we got to buy gifts. We got to buy gifts. No.
Well, you don't have to buy gifts. Like, I'm actually
my family was
very
always really
materialistic. They expect
my mother
all the time.
Shut up. No, my mother would go into debt every year buying Christmas presents for family, and
that's what charity is: going into debt for other people.
Never liked seeing that, and it impacted my viewpoint of it.
My favorite part about Christmas is when friends come back from wherever they moved away to, and we get to hang out for one night. Like Todd Michael said.
That's it. It's just I like those social things, and it's so if that's the reason and that's a good thing at Christmas, then okay. But I presents are for kids. Kids love it, but you got to reach that point where everybody kind of grows up, and it's like Halloween. I'm not a fan of Halloween either because
you realize it's just a thing.
Rocky thing.
Just the tip.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I suppose, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, then let's wrap it up. I would say if you were to give The Matrix, Spider-Man, and No Time to Die 7 martinis that were shaken with blue pills under Gwen Stacy's shattered skull, how many would you give today?
What?
How do you answer that?
I don't understand.
Scotty, what's your favorite movie you haven't seen yet?
Ooh. You know what? Batman.
The Batman?
No, Batman. The one where Mel Gibson plays Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say The Matrix Resurrections.
No, it sounds like I should avoid that like the plague.
No, I would just watch it on streaming and don't. Watch it. It's content. Watch it.
No, but like my number one movie for this year, the one that made me feel the things that made me sort of go, it was a great experience watching it, was Pig. I would say that's my number one movie. It's 2021.
I haven't seen it yet.
And it's because it surprised me so much. And you're saying that The Matrix is not going to surprise me. So whatever. Like, I was legitimately surprised by the performances and interactions by Spider-Man. I went into Spider-Man being like, you're never going to surprise me. And that movie surprised me. But if you're saying that you're going into The Matrix and it's just like, yep, then I don't need to see it. I've already seen it.
Yep.
And on that note, thank you once again for being a part of the year and a Wednesday Adams.
Is there going to be a New Year's show on the Fantasmagorium show?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Rob. I don't know if I got kicked off. So we'll find out. We'll see what's going on. Maybe it'll be a whole kit and caboodle.
You did last year.
I did get kicked off last year. It's true. So anyway,
I
with
have
that,
no idea what you're talking about. So, okay.
we're going to see you very shortly, I'm sure. Everything is fine, and we're all fine. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That's it? That's all you got? That is
Merry
the
Christmas.
worst. All right.
And a happy New
Yeah.
Year,
Filmed.
you filthy animals.
Yeah, no, totes. Go rescue a lobster from a grocery